Hey everybody, Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. So today I'm going to share some of the new sealed lead acid batteries that we have, specifically replacements for the conventional lead acid battery, the type where you have these little drains on here, you have the little vent tube. So this company BS out of France, they have over 400 different batteries, specifically just sealed lead acid, lithium ion technology, conventional batteries like this, but what sparked my interest was they came out with a line of batteries that replace these messy standard lead acid batteries. Yuasa is the classic motorsport, power sport brand. We've always carried Yuasa. They're definitely a high quality product. This is just a standard equipment battery you'd find in something like a Fly 150, Piaggio. But more specifically, this has been a very popular battery for the crowd that owns a Vespa P200E, a PX 200, because those specifically use this kind of battery, and you have to deal with this messy little vent tube. And BS came out with the BB9B. And we've been selling these very well. I've featured this in one of my vintage videos, and we do very well with them. I've never had any warranty claims with these batteries. They've been really good quality, so I think they will give you years of service as long as you don't drain it all the way and leave it drain. But the size is identical to the conventional battery, but it's in the form factor of a sealed lead acid factory activated battery ready to go. And the advantage of a factory activated battery is they can hold a charge for a very, very long time. So, as typical with a lot of owners of a vintage Vespa, sometimes you just don't touch it for a few months at a time. This is the perfect solution, and you don't have to worry about the acid getting on the frame or your spare tire. There's many other models of scooters that a YB9B fits, you know, something like even a Honda Elite 150. There's just lots of different models, but you could directly replace it with the BB9B. So now I'm going to feature some of the new sizes we have. So if you're one of those owners of a 2006 or 2007 Vespa GTS 250, have you ever changed a battery? It's a complete PETA to change out. And this is the original equipment battery found in those 2 years of the Vespa 250 GTS. Also found in the BB 500, I think some other models as well. In many motorcycles, kind of a large size battery. Again, you got to maintain this battery, but the problem with the Vespa, a modern Vespa, is it sits in a well. It's very hard to make the connections, and it drops into the body. So BS does have something that will fit as a direct replacement instead of doing some type of jerry rig and putting a larger sealed battery, which is possible, but this is a direct drop-in battery. It matches up with the terminals and everything. It's a BB10LB is the Scooter West part number. So again, a direct drop-in replacement. Terminals are in the same spot, and you pretty much can put it in and forget about it because you never need to check the water level. The biggest demise of these style batteries is customers just don't seem to ever want to check the water level. And once you fill up to the upper level, you know, with sulfuric acid mix that we do at the dealership, and then we charge a battery, you're supposed to go back in there every couple months and top it off with distilled water as needed. No one ever does that. They just let the batteries dry out, and you're like, well, a year went by and my battery's shot. Well, if you're working with a sealed lead acid battery, it's less to worry about. You kind of just put it in, forget about it. And in order to achieve the longest life with pretty much any battery technology, just don't want to let it drop to a low state of charge, you know, such as when you forget about the bike for months in the wintertime. Got to keep in mind, all these modern Vespas, they have clocks, modules that always draw a small amount of power. So you're more likely to end up with a completely flat battery on a newer modern Vespa. So it's best to use something like a battery tender, and I've covered that in the past, to keep the battery state of charge, you know, high, or, you know, mid-level, so you get the longest life. I frequently see customers that ride their scooters every day sometimes get as many as 7-8 years out of a battery. My customers that hardly use their scooters, every year they're buying a battery because they let it go dead, it sits at a low state of charge, and it's done. So just a little tip, doesn't matter what technology battery that you buy, but let me go on to the vintage specific batteries. So these are new products as well. If you have a Rally 200, North American Rally 200, you're familiar with this battery. This is like an import replacement for the B49-6 battery. We do have the standard replacement available. It's pretty inexpensive. Again, you got to maintain this style battery. The problem with these is I just find they're just not the best quality. So there's no ignition system that runs off this battery. It's strictly for the lights that are on the Rally 200. Vespa SS and I think the GS 160 also use this style battery. If you're the ultimate purist, we do have a sealed replacement, B496 old. Pretty costly, but is engineered to look like the original battery from the 60s. But the better solution, if you're going to actually use your scooter, is replace it with the BS equivalent. And the B496-S on the Scooter West web store. And again, terminals all line up. It's a little bit higher capacity battery just because they have more lead and material in there. 10.5 amp hours versus these, I think they're like 6 amp hours, or they claim 10, but they just really don't have that much capacity like what they say. This is just ultimately a better battery. Direct replacement fits with the standard battery bracket on the Rally. And if you have something like a Sprint Veloce, I think even the Primaveras with turn signals in North America where they had some of the DC lighting, we have the direct replacement for the 6N11A-1B. There's actually even a smaller battery I don't have that's not that common in the United States for some of the Vespas, but if you have a 6-volt system and it isn't this style, most likely it's going to be this, with the exception of something like a GS 150 that uses a completely different style battery. Again, a direct replacement for that standard conventional battery on your vintage Vespa. So that's what we have for you. There's many other BS batteries out there as well. We'll probably carry possibly more. The service department's been really happy with the BS batteries we've sold to our customers here locally, so I kind of thought I'd expand the line of what we offer for our mail order customers on scooterwest.com. Well, thanks for watching. Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and scooterwest.com. We'll see you on the next one.